Matthew Boling, one of the great high school talents in track and field, and one of the more successful collegiate sprinters in the NCAA, as he went on to break 10 seconds in the 100 meters, he broke 20 seconds in the 200, and he also won 2 indoor titles over the 200-meter distance. For the past couple of years, you have probably seen at least one Matthew Boling video, and you've likely seen a few on this channel because, well, we used to cover him a decent amount. But you also might have noticed that we haven't covered any of Boling's performances in quite a long time. In fact, the last time we analyzed one of his races in great detail was more than 8 months ago, when he ran an indoor meeting in the 300 meters against Stephen Gardner from the Bahamas. Now, for this competition, which took place in South Carolina during the indoor season, Gardner finished first in this race over Matthew Boling with a time of 31.78 to Boling's time of 32.56. This was quite the interesting showdown, because Boling and Gardner clashing like this was already quite interesting, but we also had Matthew Hudson Smith, who finished in 3rd place, clearly not having the greatest day, but for Boling this was actually a pretty solid showing that ranked him number 5 in the world over this distance at this point in his season. What drew many towards Boling's early performances were his dramatic times, his versatility on the track, and also his ability to jump more than 8 meters in the long jump. To this day, Boling is still one of only 2 athletes to ever go sub-10 in the 100, sub-20 in the 200, and also surpass 8 meters in the long jump. And the only other athlete to do this was Carl Lewis, who is largely regarded as one of the greatest athletes in track and field history. Boling's exploits throughout his early years were some of the greatest marks that we had ever seen for a teenage athlete. But the question that many have is, what exactly has been happening with Matthew Boling for the past couple of seasons, and can we expect him to make any world championship or Olympic team in the future?
She dug deep, learned from the painful memories of Tokyo, and ensured that she was locked and reloaded for the Paris Olympics.
Well, the answer might surprise you, because after doing a little digging, Boling is still running quite fast, and he also had one specific performance this year, which was honestly tremendously underrated. The main reason Boling has not been making as much noise recently is because he has completely changed his focus in 2024. In previous years, he ran many solid times in the 100 and the 200, and these 2 racing distances were his primary focus points. But for 2024, he has shifted his focus to the 400-meter distance. Here are Matthew Boling's yearly progressions in the 100, 200, and the 400, and as you can see, he hit his best times in the 1 and 2 back in 2022, where he ran times of 9.98 and 19.92. However, for the 400, he's running faster than he ever has for 2024. In fact, for this season alone, he broke 45 seconds 3 total times for the 1-lap distance. And for his personal record race, he achieved this mark at the very end of the season, competing against a very familiar name, Quincy Wilson.